Hey, good morning everyone. So today we are going to be working on that Ford Fusion, and I showed you yesterday where the damage got into the support or the mount for the front bumper support or the front bumper beam. Let me show you. This section here, and you see how it folded it in slightly. So basically I'm going to be knocking that out, basically pulling that outward here. What I have is I borrowed a Morgan knocker from one of our body shop buddies. And what this is, just a slide hammer basically. Body shops usually use these, they're very good. They're not cheap, but there's a reason for that. It's because it's a good high quality piece. So this I'm going to hook around the mount here, like this, and I'm going to start knocking it out. And then what I'm also going to do is go from the inside with a drift and start punching that wall out, just to try to get this thing straight. I can't film this while I'm doing this. It'd be kind of pointless in all honesty. But that's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I'm going to be working on. So I'll show you in steps what I've done and how far I've gotten it. And we'll basically go from there. And then we're going to go ahead and reassemble this vehicle so we can get it ready to get cleaned up and get sold. All right, let's get going. All right, I got that about as straight as I'm going to get it. As you can see, I wound up hitting it from the inside out using a hammer and a punch. It's about as straight as it's going to get. I couldn't do any better if I had a frame machine, I don't think. This is quite tough material, as it should be, because it is the frame and this is the impact zone. What I did was I actually had a porta power that I put in here and put some pressure on it, and that's when I kept on hitting it with hammers and stuff from the inside out. Finally got it to that shape, and it's pretty darn good. It's pretty close to the other side, what it's supposed to be. I might have to tweak it a little bit, so I'm going to test fit it, just probably tweak it just a hair, and then I got to run a tap down the thread holes here, because as you see, it boogered up because there was so much tension on it from being spring loaded. Because when that thing took a hit to the center, or to the side basically, it basically spread it out, so it was putting pressure on the frame rail. So now the frame rail is back in its natural position. I'm sure the frame is not bent per se, you know, other than this one little piece here. But so now I'm going to test fit everything, make sure everything's good, then take it back apart and then go from there. So I went to go put the radiator support and everything else on, and I realized the fan shroud, which is, where the hell did I put it? Oh, it's right over here. The shroud itself, while they're the same, the connector on the one was actually busted up. That other car had been in a front-end collision at some point in its life that wasn't reported because the Carfax came up clean. So what I was doing is I decided to switch over the fans. Not a big deal. Then I realized that the whole assembly was fitting quite loose in there. And I look, and this is the upper mount. The upper mount sits on that pin there. Somebody took the bushing out. See that? There's a rubber bushing in there. Rubber bushing slides right over there, like that. So you have a nice tight fit. So somebody took the bushing out. Okay. Maybe it fell out and they forgot to put it back in. So I laid these in place, like so, and they slide down and come through this hole, and then you bolt them up right here. I couldn't get it to go through. I'm like, what in the heck is going on? Okay, that's why they took the bushings out, because they couldn't get it in place. And then I realized the lower bushing, whoever had put this together elsewhere, here's the lower bushing. See how distorted it is? The lower bushing is supposed to fit through that opening like that. And on this side, it wasn't. It was missing. Like, not missing, it was there, but it wasn't going in the hole correctly. And you can actually see the indentations right there where it was missing, and it was actually stepping up and it was holding the radiator upward. So that's why you couldn't get it in with the bushings. So now I have the bushings from the other radiator, because I could probably reuse this, but I have the bushings from the other radiator. I took those out because I have the upper mounts out also. So now I could stick this onto the lower part of the radiator and get back in that hole correctly. So now with that in place on both sides there, now it actually will slide all the way down with that bushing, because if you look, you see how the bushing protrudes right there. It hangs over, whereas the original one, or the way they had it, it sits like this. So you lose that whole bushing section. So that's why it was able to fit without the bushing being in here. But then, of course, the whole radiator is flopping around. So now you can also see, there you go, it lines right up to the bolt hole. So now I can do that. I can put the new fan, or the old fan from this vehicle, back in place. And you see I primed up the end of the frame there just because of where I did the work. I took a wire brush, I just cleaned it up, and I sprayed it just to prevent rust and stuff from happening. So anyway, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the fan on, and then I'm going to install this on the vehicle. All right, so there we go. We got the radiator support in place. Everything's in there. Nothing's really bolted up yet. I got these top screws held in loose on both sides. This way, this entire thing can move away like this, because to catch the tranny lines, it just makes life a little bit easier. I did catch the top one already. Then I got to do the AC line, stuff like that. I can do everything from underneath. Now, one thing is this mounting point here, I actually had to straighten that out a bit, because what happened was when this thing got hit in the front and it got hit in center, it pushed the edges out. So this perch on this, that one on that side was fine. The one on this side actually had bent over like this. So I had to straighten that out. Didn't even think about it until I was already done doing it. About making a video, that is. So what I'm going to do now is basically just put it up in the air, and I'm going to start hooking stuff up. Nothing else special. I did switch over to hood switch because the other one was actually, the locking tabs were broken. So I just switched over to hood switch, and that's about it. So I'm going to start hooking everything up underneath and go from there. And she's coming together pretty good there. I got the bumper support on, I got the radiators all in, like all that stuff. Everything's connected, all the hoses, tranny lines, electrical connectors, everything's together. Impact sensors are in. Now, you remember me talking about witness marks last time, or on another video. There you can see the witness marks for the hood latch. Now, the only thing you got to keep in mind is, because this is from another car, and all of this stuff moves around so much on these vehicles, you can kind of like set everything where you need it to be, that those are just basically a guide, and I'm going to set them up in there, because if you see, if I hook that up and I get that right to where it's supposed to be, you can see the witness mark on the back plate here is going to be off, which is fine. So that's just going to be a generalized spot. It could work out absolutely perfect. It might not. So, but we're going to find out. So I'm going to tighten that up in place like that, and then I'm going to continue putting the bumper or headlights in first, then the bumper cover, and then let's see. Oh, then I'm going to have to recharge AC, stuff like that. All right, so with the headlights in and bolted up, now is a good time to check the lights themselves before you get everything else assembled. Because if you need to replace a bulb, a lot of cars, you're going to take the front bumper cover off to get to it. So now's a great time to do that. Now's the time we're going to connect the battery. I already have the key on. Reason being is, anytime you mess with something with the airbags, you always want to have the key on when you hook it up. Hook the battery up, God forbid something went wrong. If you had the battery hooked up and then you turn the key on and the bag's blue and you're in there, you could get hurt. So now's a good time to do that. So let me hook the battery up. Just like that. Now I'm going to tighten it up. The battery's connected now, so now we can turn the lights on. And let's see. So we got parking light, low beam, parking lot, light, low beam, parking lot. What am I talking about? All right, so now let's try high beams. So all of that works. Let's turn that off. Actually, let's do this. Let's turn the high beams off. And let's turn the fog lights on. How do you turn the fog lights on this? I don't even know. Let's see. Like that? Is that the fog lights? Oh, okay. I'm not going to know about this one because this one's in the car, so I'm going to have to just double check the bulb. So I know the one on the other side works. Now let's just check turn signals. So that one's working. And that one's working. All right, so now we can put the bumper cover on, and I can charge the AC and fill the coolant. So basically, for the installation of the bumper cover, it's basically just pick it up, slide it on in place. It'll go up above these little notches here for the headlights, and the bottom edge will clip in there. And then I showed you how that comes apart. It's basically a reverse procedure to install. And we're going to get that all caught and in place. It's relatively simple. And there you go. It's actually together. Basically, I slid the cover on, caught all the screws, clips, whatever I had to. I filled up the coolant. It might wind up burping out a bubble or something, but I'm going to take it on a quickly little road test. I did charge the AC. It was pretty uneventful. Let's see. What does the oil look like? I never bothered to check the oil on this. I didn't even change the oil, and that's how clean it is. So, and it's full. So that tells me right then and there, obviously a well-maintained vehicle. Let's start it up. Okay, compressor just turned on. AC's blowing ice cubes. And she sounds good. Well, let me take it for a quick little road test. So I went to go pull it out, and I had never actually tried to close the hood. So I went to go close the hood, and the hood didn't line up right. I realized the passenger side was actually back further than the driver's side. So I checked, and then all of a sudden it dawned on me. When I did the last Fusion, same exact car, except it was a white one, the hood hinges were bent. Same type of hit, too, on the other car, except that one actually did hit the hood. So this one I thought would be fine. But what I did was I took the hood hinges off. Whoops. Sorry about that. I took the hood hinges off that wrecked one outside, and I want to show you something. This is the hinge from this car. And if you look closely, you can see how the angle is in the elbow here. And if you look close, if you compare the two, the more silver colored one is the one from the car outside. The grayer one is the one from here. But if you look, see how this is more of a 90-degree angle, whereas this is a more relaxed angle? So this basically got shoved back. The white car that I had that I did before this one, same thing, except this is actually at a complete 90-degree angle. And if you look close, the stop here, this is dead up against the stop, and you can see the stop is actually folded in slightly. See that? It's just folded back slightly, whereas this one is not. So that right there, that's a key sign that the hinge is bent. So anyway, the reason these hinges are a lighter color is these were replaced on another car, and then they probably just sprayed them in a booth and then installed them later, because these don't really match up to anything on that other car. Because if you look on this, the bumper cover in that matches up fine. It's a perfect color match. So anyway, I already replaced the one on that side. The one on that side is actually not, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but since I had two, I may as well put two on. So let me get this in place. Weird thing about these is when you install them, that little bolt in the back there, you have to go underneath and then tuck it up. You notice I got cardboard here because I want to protect the windshield. That little bolt comes in there. So I got to back that bolt off a little more so the washer will get in there just right. I'm going to actually move this cardboard over a little bit too. But anyway, it's really not that difficult. So let me get this in place, and then I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now one thing here too, that I got the bottom of this bolted in place. The top edge of the hinge here has a slot in it. So the nice thing is you can leave the front hood bolt in, and this way you can pick it up and drop it in place. And this way you don't have to worry about, having an issue there. So, trying to line it up, it actually makes life a little bit easier. Just, oops. Sorry, trying to do this one-handed and use my head as a guide. Yeah, just like that. So anyway, do it like that, and then you can catch the bottom bolt. And I just want to show you right here, there's that bolt in place. That actually lines up the top edge of the fender, because the fender will actually go up and down. See that? So, but in its relaxed position is kind of where you want it. So I'm going to tighten that up. There is a filler panel here that goes in place. This one. So I'm going to get this all tightened up, and I'll get the hood bolts in, and then we should be good. There it is. I got it right. Now, if you look, see the hood fits perfect. Like I said, I don't think the hinge was bent on this side, but I replaced them both just to be on the safe side. But if you come over here, you can actually see paint is slightly chipped right there. The hood was actually back. This portion of the hood was actually hitting up here. So this thing was actually driven back quite a bit. That little bend that was in the hinge actually gets exaggerated in the actual vehicle. So the front point here was actually almost touching the fender. So it was, let's see, I would say that this edge was up to that edge there, which is quite a bit. So, but now it's all straight, everything's looking good. It's a good car, it's a good looking car. Yeah, it's got a couple of dings and dents in it, but nothing dramatic. A couple of scratches here and there. The paint's not 100% perfect on the front bumper, but you know what? It's not supposed to be a showpiece. but it's definitely a nice car. So now I'm going to take this thing out, and I'm going to take it on my little dead-end road. Excuse me. Let me shut that off. It's humid today. I'll tell you what, that AC feels good. I do like the gauges on these. I like how they do that. See how like the numbers not go away and just lights up? I like that. I think that's kind of neat. And it comes back to life like that. Nothing of interest in here. Like I said, sometimes you find some interesting things. So let me go onto my little road there, because this thing's not registered or anything. As many of you know, my little test road here, dead end road, is the next street over from our driveway for our shop. So I'm on that road right now, and I'm going to head down the road there. We're just going to see how it feels going down the road. So here we go. Gears shift, everything feels good. It goes straight, steering wheel straight. The gauges aren't flickering, that's just because of the LEDs and stuff. So everything feels good. Brakes feel good. It's not even due for an oil change yet. But I showed you the oil was clean, so you know this car was maintained well. But it feels good. Try it out one more time. It feels really nice. This is going to be a good car for somebody. We actually already have a deposit on it, believe it or not. Person came in, saw it, and they like what they saw. So this is it fits the bill for what they need. So that's pretty good, actually. So now what we got to do is we got to clean it up. We're going to go get it detailed. Sorry for the lighting. Get it detailed and go from there. So if you're getting something out of my videos, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. Alright guys, that's it for now. Have a great day. Keep wrenching.